actual aspect of bhakti, that is devotion. So many times people ask, like, why is that so many intelligent people are going to ISKCON and taking up Krishna consciousness? How is that like that? So in general, people think that bhakti means like something little inferior to our education, inferior to so many things that other things that we do. But if you see, Srila Prabhupada, unlike others, we would have all like had experiences. So when we were in our home and when we used to ask Papa, Mummy, why we are doing this? Why are we sitting here? Why are we going there? Why are we doing this way? Why are we ringing bells? So many questions as a kid when we were asking. The Western world, you can imagine, like they were so intellectually like advanced, and they didn't want any philosophy. They wanted the actual scientific substance, and Srila Prabhupada gave them that scientific substance as of why this, how the spirituality is, it goes hand in hand with science. And then they started accepting like spirituality based on the scientific facts. Then in India, it's the other way around. In India, it's like either we blindly follow things majority of the times, and then or because our ancestors are following, so as a matter of respect or as a matter of fear, we continue to follow. But over time, now the period is evolving, and everybody is starting to question, especially the kids. We find them questioning all around. If we have any niece or nephews, we would have seen them. They would be always troubling us with so many questions which we even don't know the answers. And we also see that like the main thing about spirituality that was missing earlier, especially prior to Srila Prabhupada's era, was that nobody was there to explain this method of spirituality very scientifically, very factually. Everybody were so much accepting it very emotionally and as a matter of parampara, like as a matter of ancestral legacy. So they never questioned and they never wanted to even like figure out and then share it to others. But Srila Prabhupada presented the science as it is, very very scientifically, and that's when we see that even if you see ISKCON monks in any temple all over the ISKCON, like all over the world you go, majority of the monks are very very highly qualified. Either they're engineers, especially from IITs and NITs, and then doctors, like lawyers, and then very various high position. Why? Because when we scrutinizingly study Shastra, that too scientifically, we understand that how there is no living entity which is bereft of suffering, and then the most intelligent thing a person can do to himself and to others is to worship Krishna, so that he have a better current life as well as better next life. And Prabhupada is so merciful to all of us that he has given us these wonderful scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And if you hear Srila Prabhupada's lecture, you can see that very very scientific. That's why when we start like taking these sessions, we've been like suggest people to hear Srila Prabhupada than hearing us or than hearing any other local like orators, because Srila Prabhupada, his intention was very very pure, very very clear, that he wanted to save us from this suffering material world, nothing else. And second thing is that he was like, if you see, if you take any 5 minutes or 7 minutes lecture also, in that at least two to 3 minutes Srila Prabhupada will dedicate for examples and analogies so that we fallen people can understand. Otherwise we cannot understand. And you know all these examples of like gulab jamun and all, it's from Srila Prabhupada himself. And in fact in ISKCON, gulab jamun is called as, anybody knows? ISKCON bullets. ISKCON bullets. So that was how initially Srila Prabhupada used to give them prasadam, and then he used to inspire them to come. And one thing that I personally like about ISKCON is that only that unlike any other platform, we get to ask a lot of questions and we get very scientific answers. There is, even if like let's say you ask me the question, I don't know the answer, then I definitely reach out to my superiors and they will reach out to their superiors and we'll get the answers. And nobody will ever tell us that this is not a valid question or you just follow it or something like that. So every time I asked a question, I got some satisfactory answer, which I could practically like see or follow or experience. And that's what spirituality is. Like we cannot accept everything in philosophy for a long time, unless and until some experience is there. And if I ask you, what is your definition of bhakti? Anybody can answer? Bhakti means seva. Bhakti means seva. This is what Srila Prabhupada told us. Any other definition? Like you can share whatever you feel like. Definitely, we all were doing bhakti. I mean, just like that, we didn't end up here. Remembering and surrendering to Lord. It's a nice one. It's a way of living. Yes, actually, it's an innate way of living. And we see, until Srila Prabhupada's era, we used to see that people used to say that bhakti means doing this, doing that. So many n number of things they used to list. They used to have a guidebook and things like that. But when Srila Prabhupada, when he translated bhakti into English, so he didn't just translate into a blind word called devotion. He said that it's a devotional service. And we'll see what Krishna says about himself and about how to do bhakti. This is a very, very beautiful shloka. We can repeat. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam
भोक्तारां यज्ञतपसां
सर्वलोका maheshwaram
सर्वलोका महेश्वरं
सुहृदां सर्वभूतानां
सुहृदां सर्वभूतानां
ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति.
ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिर्गच्छति.
Can anyone repeat loudly?
A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices and the austerities, and the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and the well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the
Pangs of
pangs of material mysteries.
So this is a shloka. You can note down the shloka. This is called as a peace formula. So anybody who is looking for peace, so in Bhagavad Gita, this is called as a peace formula shloka. And this is also one of the first few shlokas which I recited and I personally learned, so that I can remember and especially at the moment of crisis. So here, Krishna says multiple things, and in that the prime thing is that Krishna says that I am this, I am that. He is telling that I am the beneficiary of all sacrifices that you do and austerities that you do. Like even before coming to Krishna consciousness, one thing I noticed in so many rituals that we do in our home and in neighbors' home, in here and there, in all the temples, is that after they do everything, I don't know if you have noticed, they say that Krishnarpanamastu. They say that because everybody innately they know the fact that no matter we offer something to the demigods or we offer something to our superiors or anything, at the end of the day it should reach Krishna. Then only it is complete, it is fulfilled, the purpose is ultimately satisfied. And second thing is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Krishna is saying that I am the Lord of all the planets and all the universes, everything that is existing, all the demigods. And Krishna is saying a very, very beautiful thing that I am the benefactor, the most merciful, most merciful person who is our ever well-wisher. Of whom? Of just human beings? No, of all the living entities. And when we know this and when we work according to this, we get ultimate peace. And here, the one thing, the most important thing that is that will relate to our topic for today is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, where Krishna says that everything belongs to me. Anything that is existing, everything belongs to me. And in so many sessions we discussed that how everything belongs to Krishna, and when we accept something without acknowledging it to Krishna, then we are called something. So we will discuss what is that. Like for example, I always give the example of laptop. Let's say we are all very busy in serving the Lord, dancing, honoring prasadam, and from outside one person comes, he just packs my laptop, puts in his bag, and then he just runs away. What do we call it? Chore, thief. Similarly, we see in the Shastras, very, very clearly it is mentioned that Krishna is the supreme proprietor of everything, including one other shloka also we discussed where it is said that Bhumi Rapo Annalo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha. earth, water, fire, air, ether, our mind, intelligence, ego, everything, it comes from Lord. So if you see anything, if you see this remote, if you see this paper, anything you take, it's a combination of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So ultimately, like Krishna is the actual proprietor. Any house, people say, no, I own this house, I own this land, I own this gold. At the end of the day, if you see the root, the owner, true owner is Krishna himself. And today, sadly, all of us are suffering because we are like thieves. We are not acknowledging that it belongs to Lord, and then we are not taking. Let's say the same person would come to me and ask me, I need to just fill a form. I just want the laptop for a few minutes. Can I borrow? Then that's it. The same person. It's the same person taking the same laptop inside the same bag, but the perception changes. That we will never complain against him, and he will also not suffer. Similarly, when we start recognizing, yes, it is Lord to whom everything belongs to, including us, our near and dear ones, everything basically we have, then we acknowledge Lord that yes, this is yours, and I'm just a caretaker for now, and I will just use it, and then it's yours. You are still the owner, like that. And when we very very wonderfully when we acknowledge, then actually the sins, basically the suffering, our suffering reduces. And when like classic example which I always give is when we like cut some vegetables and boil something in the water, and then when we cook, you can imagine, first of all, the water is Lord's, vegetable is Lord's, then all the other ingredients are Lord's. Second thing is, so many like microorganisms and so many other things are there which will get killed even without our knowledge. And just like that, when we have, first thing is, again we are chore, because it's like going to neighbor's house, stealing a pot of pot of khichdi, coming, why khichdi, pot of fried rice and like Manchurian, and coming and eating. Like if they get to know neighbors, that's it. You will never be the neighbor again. You will have to vacate. So similarly, when we without acknowledging take something, especially honor something, then that it has a lot of sinful reactions, and we have to bear it. Like I always say that a child, without knowing or with knowing, if he touches the fire, it will burn his hands. So without knowing or with knowing, if he do something that is against the scriptures, it is an act of sin. And second thing is that only, that how uh, like uh, when all so many living entities, like without our knowledge, which were killed, so when we offer it to Lord, Lord is our ultimate benefactor, that He is ready to take up all the sins for us. So that's why we say, whenever we give prasadam, we say that it's a karma free food, because one is whatever, like so much of people who cultivated it, people who sowed it, people who processed it, so much of karma passes through, and our karma along with that. So without offering to Lord, then we have lot of sinful reactions we get. And we also see that how when we start acknowledging the presence of the Lord, automatically we see that our suffering starts reducing, because that is the why we are here on this material world, because majorly we wanted to enjoy, we wanted to be the center, we wanted to be the boss. And then when we start recognizing, no, it's Krishna who is the boss, it's Krishna who is the proprietor. Now all I have to do is just acknowledge his proprietorship. Then we majority of our majority of our acts will become spiritual, and then we will stop getting any more effects. So now that we know everything belongs to Lord, so I started with what is the definition of bhakti. So everything belongs to Lord, everybody accepts that fact, yes, everything belongs to Lord. So everything should be used in the service of the Lord. So at the end of the day, if you are working, so like a portion of our salary, we can give it as a donation, for either for annadan or for anything, or worst case, at least like what Krishna demands, he says patram pushpam phalam toyam, we can offer little water, little fruits, little flowers, little tulsi leaves to Krishna, daily or whenever possible, and acknowledge that yes, Krishna, you are my everything, and at least, if not anything, at least I want to give this to you, like that. And everything like this, just like I just started giving the example of our salary, but everything, when we start using, like we can use our mind and intelligence to know about Krishna, to study scriptures, to know about Krishna, to share about Krishna to others. We can use our lips to share about Krishna to others, and we can use our hands and legs to pay obeisances, to come to the temple. If you see everything that we have, very very nicely it can be used in the service of Krishna. And when we use something for our service, so it is mainly self-centeredness, and it will cause like it will definitely, we may accept or not, it will come with the set of baggage. And what is that baggage? That baggage is some karmic reactions. But when we start using everything in the service of the Lord, so automatically we become freed. So everybody, especially in this era, everybody says that like self independence and so on, so many slogans go on. This is the true independence, that we recognize that yes, we are fully dependent on Krishna, no one else. We are fully dependent on Krishna. We acknowledge that dependence and we try to use everything in the service of Krishna. And one other thing I want to share is that, like, using everything in the service of Krishna, doing bhakti, it's not something that is optional. It is mandatory for a living entity. Because, like how I said, we don't want to become thieves. We don't want to remain thieves, and we don't want to be in a jail forever. In fact, this material world, it is compared to a jail. If you see the whole universe, so the three-fourth world is the spiritual world, and just the one-fourth world is the material world. And in fact, before coming to Krishna consciousness itself, when I was young, my father used to always teach me the 14 planetary systems. Tell that upper planetary systems like Bhuloka, Bhuarloka, Satyaloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, and down it is like Atala, Vitala, Patala, Atala, Vitala, Satala, Patala, Talatala, Rasatala, like that. So we see that like just one fourth is this current material universe where we are staying in, and three-fourth is already the spiritual world where Lord's dear spiritual living entities are already very happily living. In what state? In Satchidananda state, in a state of full like eternity. It's not temporary like this. One day we are there and next day we are not there. One day phone is there, next day it's not there, not like that. And Chit, full of knowledge about who Krishna is, who we are, what is our relationship with him. And third thing is Ananda, full of bliss, not like 1%, 2%, complete bliss. We cannot even imagine what kind of bliss the people experience over there, because here the bliss is so temporary that by the time we put the gulab jamun, it's gone and the bliss is ending. Just it's a matter of seconds. So like we also see one in this regard, like I would like to tell one story that this story is, we call it as good news bad news story. So there was a sage and there was a king, and the sage used to go to sage went to king. Basically earlier the rule was like the rulings were like a king was always guided by a rishi, and the king used to be called as Raja Rishi, because a king knew that my duty is to administer the kingdom, and without the help of Shastra, if I start administering the kingdom, then everything will go in vain. So he used to take the help of sage. So the sage wanted to teach sage wanted to the sage came to the kingdom, and then sage went to the king and he told that, king, do you know, have you heard of the bad news? The king says, what is the bad news? So the sage says that the bad news is that you are going to die in few hours now. And then the sage, the king is very very sad and upset. And in the next moment the sage comes again. But there is one happy news. That, what is that? What is the happy news? Then the sage says that the happy news is that it is foretold that after your death you will go to heaven. Now the king is again little happy. Yeah, okay, fine. I cannot stop death. Nobody can stop death. I cannot stop death, but at least I will go to heaven. Then the sage comes back again. King, oh king, there is one more sad news. And then king asks, now what? So the sage says that there are a lot of mosquitoes in the heavenly kingdom. Now again the king is upset, and now the sage again comes back and the sage says that there is one happy news. What is that? There is mosquito net in the heavenly kingdom. And then again the sage comes back. He says that, but there is again a sad news. What is that sad news? There is a hole in mosquito net. And finally the sage comes back and says that the ultimate happy news is that there is already thread in the spiritual in that heavenly kingdom. You only need to take a needle. Now the king, being so intelligent, he asks the sage that can I even take a needle? The king asks the sage. The sage says, Oh king, oh Murka, this is what I'm trying to tell you from so many days, that don't be proud of your accomplishments, don't be proud of your wealth, your kingdom. This is just a temporary position. You are such a king of the whole world, but you cannot even take a small needle when you leave this world. So what to tell about all this kingdom and all this prestige and your relatives, friends, and so on? Nothing you can take. And then the king basically he realizes what the sage wanted to teach him. And similarly, what this story teaches us is the same thing. Definitely, we cannot give up our work, we cannot give up our duties and everything. But the prime thing we have to realize is that we cannot take anything, including one single rupee, when we go back, when we leave this body. So that's why we say that this body is also belonging to the Lord Himself. We don't have any rights to harm this body or feed this body with some like drugs or alcohol or anything that is not allowed. We are not, because this doesn't belong to us. When we give up, like when we die, we have to leave this body and then take up the next body. It's just the temporary home that we are living, like a rented house. We cannot do anything. We cannot even put a nail. So you can imagine. For now, we can only decorate our body and keep it clean and neat, and ensure that whatever the body we have received, for which use we have received, for self realization and God realization, and use it for the best purpose. Otherwise, definitely, like, we will not get the human body again. And second thing is that how like when we majority of the times when we suffer, if you see, there are so many reasons. This reason I suffer, that reason I suffer, so many reasons. And when we look back to the, like, when we find the root cause of all the suffering, we actually see that the majority, like the major cause of suffering in everybody's life, every single living entity's life, is that we are not acknowledging the proprietorship of the Lord. Majority of the times, it's we who want to be the proprietors, but ultimately we are the thieves who don't want to acknowledge. And like how I said, one other point which we have to remember is that bhakti is not something that is optional. Like, who doesn't want to be happy? I always ask this question to my parents, that ultimately our parents did everything to us so that we remain happy, and just because we are happy, they are also happy. So at the end of the day, every single living entity is looking for happiness. And the only problem with us is that we are looking for happiness in the wrong place. Something that is actually a like relief from the trouble, that we consider as an happiness for now. And that's why we see that, like, a majority of the times we see that the happiness is flickering. It's like our, if we draw a graph of our life, it will be like ups, down, up. Majority of the times it will be low, low, low. somewhere high and just low, low, low. Okay, so next question is, what as per you is religion? So any definition you have, or definitely we all are from a religious background. So what do you think is a religion? Anything you know, you can answer.
Set of rules and regulations.
Set of rules and regulations that we have to follow. Anything? Anything else? So many times people say that religion is this, religion is that. Especially the like famous statement which I hear is that many times people say that religion means faith. How many of you have heard this? Religion means faith. So my question is, if religion is faith, then atheistic people who do not actually say that I'm religious, do they not have faith on anything? Definitely they have faith on something. So we cannot call them religious. They are like utterly non-religious. We cannot call them religious at all. And faith is something we should know that it keeps on changing. Like, if you see, in general, now even majority of the people, they think that religion is faith itself. That's why we see so many conversions that is happening, because today I have faith here, tomorrow for my sense gratification some other religion may give, may provide better facilities, so I will change my faith. And especially if you see, like in India itself, in so many tribal areas, in so many remote villages, people give money and people make them change their religion, from either from Hindu to Islam or Hindu to Christianity and so on. It's happening all over. So that's when I concluded that no, religion cannot be faith. If it was just implicit faith, then it keeps on changing. No, religion is something that is eternal. And everybody says that, oh, we have a religion, we have faith in this, we believe in this. And faith, everybody is having faith on something or the other thing. So based on faith, we cannot discover. So I like to give this example. So what is the nature of a sugar? To be sweet. So can I remove the sweetness from the sugar? So that is the dharma of the sugar. And what is the nature of chili? Spicy. So what is the can we remove the spice from the chili? No, we cannot remove. So that is the actual dharma of the chili. And let's say chili starts becoming sweet and the sugar starts becoming spicy. Is it ever possible? Ever possible? No, it's not possible. Similarly, how we cannot remove the spice from chili or sugar from sweet, similarly we cannot remove this dharma from soul, from oneself basically. And Srila Prabhupada translates this dharma as occupational duty that cannot be separated from us. Like how nature of sweet cannot be separated from sugar, nature of liquidity cannot be separated from water, and nature of spice cannot be separated from chili. So some duty that is that cannot be separated from us at all. So that is actually religion. And it is also said that um, like uh, if you see our nature, by nature, we have so many natures. We are angry sometimes, we are happy sometimes, we are sometimes moody, and so many natures are there. But one nature, if you notice, that is like eternal to everybody, every living entity. And that is the nature of service. We'll keep aside the service in temple and things like that. Let us take in our homes itself. like like a mother serves a child and husband also in turn serves his parents, and then he serves his child, and the children also serve their parents. And we who are working, we serve our company. In our company we serve various colleagues, various boss. And everybody, basically any person you take, any example you take, ultimately they are doing some or the other service. So the service is that nature which we cannot separate from any living entity. I am giving this example of sugar and spice and things like that, so that you can relate. So if you can take any single living entity, and the one thing that is common among all the living entities is that everybody has this nature to serve. Even if you see, a mother cow wants to serve the calf, baby calf. Even the dog wants to serve puppies, and the puppies also in turn wants to serve the dogs. If you see pigeon and some birdlets are making a nest, even the little birdlets wants to help the mother. And any living entity you take, everybody wants to serve. Anybody cannot say that no, I'm not serving. And let's say if somebody doesn't get anybody to serve, then ultimately they keep a dog and then they start serving the dog. And whenever, especially I go for Mangalarti daily at around 5 o'clock in our temple. Mangalarti starts in JP Nagar. And when I'm walking at around 4:50 a.m., I see that so many people carrying two dogs and carrying all the dog stuffs and going around, walking around. And when I see who is the boss, definitely it's not the person who is the boss. Who wants to be awake at 5 a.m. and take the dogs for walking? And then they want to wait until the dog pees and things like that, and then move when the dog moves, stand when the dog stands. It's very clear that who is the master there. It's the dog who is the master there. So we see that innate nature to serve is there. We cannot stop that nature. Any human being, even a man, woman, any human being, if you take, that innate nature to serve is there. And when that service nature is not easily obtained, then all these so many artificial means comes in picture, where they want to serve here, there. That's when all this philanthropy and social service and everything comes in picture. The more and more they cannot serve, the more and more they feel lonely, because how the nature of the soul is to serve. So if we are not in natural state, definitely we will be in a difficult state. If you see, on the earthly planet, earth is the majority substance. So our body is majorly made of earth substance, so we can easily stay. And when it comes to sun, we cannot say that there is no living entity in sun. Just because we get burnt by fire, we cannot say that there is no living entity in sun. In sun there are living entities whose majority of the body is made up of fire element. We have discussed of Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether. In aquatics, the majority of their body is made up of water element. So, like that. And similarly, like we cannot, if we separate a fish from the water, the fish will die. Similarly, if we separate the serving nature from our soul, basically us, then slowly we see that automatically our like happiness tends to fade, and then all the other troubles comes in picture, and we become morose. We get like we go to the lower phase of a life. And dharma is, it's also said that it is also given a definition that dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So that which is told by the Lord is dharma, not something concocted by us or not something made by us whimsically thinking this is what it is, this is what dharma is, that is what dharma is. And like if the dharma is to serve, now I was telling that if the nature of the fish is to be in water, so when the fish is in water, fish will be happy, correct? If the fish is outside, fish is not sad, not sad, yeah. So similarly, we are also serving, like how I said, we are serving our parents, we are serving our friends, we are serving in our office. But can anybody say I'm the happiest always? Can anybody say? So the point I want to bring here is we are also serving, but we are not getting happiness. So don't you think there is something wrong in this? Because we are in our nature, we are trying to be in our nature, and that is service, and we are trying to serve. Yet this service is not giving us the happiness. So does that mean like like our dharma is not to serve? No. Like one example that I can currently think of is that let's say you take a bus to Majestic, and okay, one other thing is MG Road. You take a bus to MG Road, and you start traveling. Like you take one bus, take another metro, take so many buses, and you reach MG Road, but of a different state or a different district. And you search that there. Oh, maybe you said your friend said she will meet there. You're searching your friend there, but your friend is not there. So what happened there? The only thing that happened is the objective was misinterpreted or misplaced basically. Similarly, right now our condition is that we are trying to serve so many people, so many things, so many like animals and so on, but our objective is not right. When our objective is not right, automatically the result will not be the right one. Automatically, the like when we serve the right goal, so then we will get the right happiness. Here we are in the wrong place, so definitely we will not end up in the happiness. So the real objective of service is Lord Krishna. And that's when we see again, I'm not saying this blindly. So when we come to temple, especially if you see we have multiple sessions even in this small center. Like mornings we have like Srimad Bhagavatam session where majorly the youth crowd comes, youth men come here and they take a Bhagavatam session. And then that if you come like around 8 or 8:30 in the morning, you see there is not even a space for anybody to like get like accommodated here. That highly packed it will be. Even Saturday evenings there is a session for new youth boys, and then Sunday morning there is a special session for like the congregation, the family, the husband, wife, and kids. And even Saturday evening also there are many Gita classes. And in majority of these classes, what I noticed is the substance is the same. We explain about Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita in simple words that we can also speak, they can also understand. And then we'll be having nice kirtan, we'll be having aarti, we'll be having simple prasadam. But people, the same people, they get like so much satisfaction by doing the littlest of the little things. They get so much satisfaction, and we see week after week they continue coming, and week after week they want to come listen to the lectures, like do some service, hear kirtan, attend the aarti, and the honor prasadam, and the amount of happiness they get, even if they get the iPhone 16 Pro Max, whatever the ultimate thing, they have never experienced that happiness. Because why I'm giving you that material example, because in this IT world, especially in this wide field, we see everybody like majorly people are not poor. They are at least they can manage their like way of living, and majorly people are rich also. That's why I say that like when we go to shops in general earlier, and especially in our place, we used to bargain that this should not be like this should be like this. Nowadays here anywhere if you go and you bargain, what they say if you want you take, otherwise just go. We have a lot of customers because they know that everybody is rich. They don't want they don't depend on one single customer who is actually a poor one. So we see like how so many things we try to find satisfaction by serving so many living entities, but at the max, when we know that, when we finally realize that the real objective of our service should be Krishna, then we see that we get complete satisfaction. So the actual dharma of the living entity is to serve the Lord, and when we start serving the Lord, it's not something like very very theory and philosophical. Just by little serving sincerely, we see that automatically we become very happy. So the definition of bhakti, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, it's one of my favorite shloka. It said, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaji ahaituki apratihata yahyatma suprasidati. So the first thing what it's told in that shloka is that Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma, the dharma of all the living entity is that Yatho Bhakti, we have to do bhakti. For whom? Adokshaja, Lord Shri Krishna, who is called as Adokshaja. And what do we get? We will ask now, what do I get? You become Suprasidati. You just don't become happy. What do you become? Super happy. So it is said that just by doing devotional service, we become super happy. And week after week we see that how little things that we were initially thinking, yes, this may seem to be something good, something better, now we see that it's the same thing is giving lot of happiness to us. And we also see that how now that, first thing is I got to know that what is dharma. So what is dharma? Dharma is our beauty, which cannot be separated from us at all. Second thing you should know is what is not dharma. Dharma is not some faith that can change. And now that we got to know what is dharma, so we can always remember the example of the sugar. So something that cannot be separated. And then we came to the conclusion that something that cannot be separated from the soul is the nature of service. Then we tried to figure out that we are already serving, but still we are not happy. So we came to a conclusion that yes, our objective of the service is not right. So we were ending up in a wrong place, and we were looking for that person. So we are not finding that person. Now that we found the person, we realize that yes, the ultimate happiness, satisfaction we can ever get is by knowing that the service should be oriented towards Krishna, doubted towards Krishna. Now the next picture comes is, how should we do this service? Should we do this service in a vague way, where I want to do this in this way so that I get happiness, or I want to do it in the way Lord says, or in the way the acharyas in the parampara says, basically. So one example is let's say I'm you are all inviting me to your home. I know you will not, but still, let's say. And then you think okay, maybe Mataji likes Karela, so we will cook Karela for Mataji. You'll overhear from somebody that yes, Mataji likes bittergourd, so you start making bittergourd curry, bittergourd sweet, bittergourd some chutney, some paste and everything, sorry, sweet, fry and everything. And then when I come to your home and I ask, what is this, Mataji? What do you think do you think I'm a diabetics patient? I always speak about gulab jamun in my class, and you are giving me Karela. then you start saying that, no, Mataji, I thought that you like Karela. Then what will be my next reaction? I will say that you should have asked me, no? So similarly, to know what a person likes, we should ask them, what do you like? Similarly, when we want to please Lord, when we want to serve Lord, we should not do it from our perception. Oh, maybe Lord likes this, Lord likes that. We should do by asking the Lord, oh Lord, what do you like? What do you like? How should I serve you? How should I please you? And you cannot even believe, Lord is so merciful that He knows that we are so much ignorant that we have turned our back towards Him. It is said that Krishna Bhuli Jiva Bahirmukha. We have turned opposite to Lord. That's why we have come here, and so much we are suffering. No, it's the example is that how a millionaire's son, he fights with the father and he goes on the footpath. So now, is the millionaire's son is happy? No, he's sad. He's suffering. Similarly, we Krishna is ultimate like supreme father, and he is ready to give us everything. He is ready to keep us happy, and he wants us to be happy basically. But we have turned like bahirmukh, we have turned opposite to him, and now we are looking for happiness. It's like a millionaire son, instead of going to his father and like being like staying happy, he is coming to the footpath, and then he is even struggling for like one meal. And if the like the same son, if he goes back to the father, you cannot even imagine how happy he'll be. He doesn't even have to struggle. Similarly, our situation is also like that now, because we wanted to be the boss, we wanted to be the self enjoyer, we didn't want to give credit to Lord, we didn't want to acknowledge the presence of the Lord, and we wanted to be self-centered, and to like enjoy for our own, to enjoy like to satisfy our own senses, to satisfy us, our near and dear ones, so many things. We turned from our millionaire father, who is Lord Krishna, and now we are suffering, and then we are asking, oh, why am I suffering? It's like a millionaire son asking, why am I hungry? Like, why am I not getting food? Arey, go back to your father. He has all the food ready for you. He can feed not only you, he can feed your 100 friends. So you can go back to him. And we also see that, so how we saw that in the progression, that we realized that service to Lord, and service to Lord not in the way I want, but service to Lord in a way Lord Krishna wants. And here like we will conclude this topic of bhakti and religion, and that how when we start recognizing that this is something that Krishna is telling us, so that we fallen souls who are struggling can be happy, then we can realize like our perception towards everything changes. So majority of the times when we start doing some rituals, especially which our parents told, our uncle told, auntie told, majority of the times it will be business. So I will do this, you give me this, I will offer you this, you give me this, like that. But when we start doing something for the pleasure of the Lord, who is our, like you can always remember that millionaire example, who is that millionaire who is always waiting to feed us, who is always waiting to serve us, then automatically just by little turning towards to him, we can become very happy. Now the question is, what as per you is spirituality? Any almost 7 8 sessions we have attended. Anything that you can make out, like what is spirituality? Knowing knowing Vedas. Then
Loving devotional service.
loving devotional service. You can tell something from the word itself.
Adding Krishna to the rituals
Hmm.
can be a spiritual.
Adding Krishna to rituals, that is also nice.
Knowing spirit.
Knowing spirit soul, something that we always miss. Majority of the times, at least I don't know about you, at least I never got the thought that I'm not this body, I'm this soul. It was very hard. Actually, I still remember that when my mentor was asking me question, that I'm sure you all would know that you all are so intelligent. You would by default know that you're a soul, you're not a body. Is there anyone? He asked. Then like I was the one who raised the hands very shyly, and I told him, no, I didn't know that I'm a body. I'm a soul, I'm not a body. Actually, nobody tells us in general. We think that we are body. That's why we see that from the small, if you see a little girl also, she wants to like so much decorate herself, so much like she wants to like do everything. That innate thing comes from this, like from when we are young, that yes, we are a body, we have to take care. Definitely we have to take care. But nobody will ever come to us and say you are the soul. It's only after coming to ISKCON, I realized that yes, the main reason that I am suffering is because I'm just painting the cage, decorating like adding colors to everything, and I'm forgetting to feed the bird inside the cage. I'm just starving the bird, and definitely the bird will die. The bird will surely die one day or the other day. And spirituality is something like that. Spirituality means something that is pertaining to soul. Basically, the acts that we do to satisfy the soul, that is spirituality. And if you see on an ideal way, like spirituality and religion, they are like synonyms. Because religion is something that will there we do some acts that will ultimately like connect us to the Lord, please the Lord, and we become happy. And spirituality is also same thing, that it is something that will satisfy our soul, and then ultimately it will connect us to the super soul. But if you see like modern, in the like modern era, so much of confusion is there about like spirituality. Like so many organizations, this so called, so they do so call themselves a spiritual organization, but if you see ultimately, like max to max, what they will provide is they will tell that we will give you peace of mind, we will, like, you will get a lot of control over your mind, you can manage your mind and things like that, you can only think. Even like earlier, I had subscribed here and there to many organizations, and at least now, after so many sessions we have discussed, is mind spiritual or material?
Material.
Mind is material. What is that shloka? Like we were discussing, no? That bhumi rapo analo vayo kham mano buddhi revacha. So out of the eight material elements, differentiated material elements, one is mind. And when they say that yes, we will give you peace of mind, you can like meditate and you will get lot of like satisfaction to your mind, things like that. Ultimately, definitely they are giving something. It's not that they are not helping us. Definitely they are giving something, but they should recognize that they are giving something to us still in the material platform. And that's when, like, when I got to know about Srila Prabhupada and what Srila Prabhupada is trying to give us, I realized that this is something very, very unusual. Like, everywhere I go, people say, do one hour yoga, do this, do that. You can do meditation. You will get like this satisfaction to mind. This will reduce, that will reduce. But nobody is talking about the innate nature of the soul. Nobody is talking about the root cause, why we are actually sad, why we are actually suffering, why we are actually not happy, why we are not even like being able to sustain each other. If you see any problem you take, I always say, especially to my parents, I always say that any problem you take, you go to the root cause, it will be ultimately the only thing that we are like away, like turned away from the Lord, and it's not connected to the Lord. And also we say that how so many things like we do in a very, very concocted way. So here, like, it's we have mentioned that how knowing about spirit or acts regarding to spirit is called as spirituality. Now, knowledge versus ritual. So we see that there are so many places where I saw that, to be like, on a personal level, they teach like so much of knowledge, but they forget the fact that why are they even doing what are they doing. They forget the fact that like there is some like emotion involved, some heart is involved, and there are other like places where the only thing that is involved is heart, and there is no knowledge at all. And Srila Prabhupada, he always says that philosophy without religion is just mental speculation. We just end up in thinking, oh, maybe this, oh, maybe that, oh, maybe that, that's it. And religion without philosophy is just sentimental. We see majority of the places where we like so-called devotional organizations, definitely it's not that they're doing like something to cheat us, but it's majority of the times it's that they don't know, they have not read the scriptures, they have not tried to understand what Krishna is trying to say, what actually the acharyas are trying to say. And that's why we see that majority of the times things remain as rituals, and just because he followed, she followed, that person followed, this person followed, we tend to follow. And people swing towards knowledge because nowadays everybody wants knowledge. They don't want like anything that is like ritual, that is done blindly. Even if you see like if we see the nature, our parents were very obedient, and we were okay, we were little obedient, and next generation they're not obedient at all. And let's say our parents come to us and say, beta dekho, like our purvajas used to do this, you do this. Then because we are little obedient, we still do. But if we say our kids, definitely we all will be married and then we all will be having kids. So let's say we say our kids, बेटा देखो आपकी पापा कर रहे हैं, आप भी करो. He says that my papa is doing, definitely I will not do. Definitely I will not do. So we see that even from the child we see that innate nature to question is there. So if we start following things blindly, then it's very difficult for us only to get convinced to a law. That's why we see majority of the times now the knowledgeable people, they're moving towards atheistic nature. Why? Because there's nobody who is there to give the real substance, to make them know this is what actually is spirituality. Because people are are blindly following so many things. And these atheists, what they do, they will be little spiritual here and there because of their spiritual background. Then they go to some temple and then they ask why so. They will not get the reason. Then they will say these people are like sentimental. Like how is it? These people are sentimental. They're crazy. They're doing things out of their own like mental speculation. There is no reason behind what they are doing. So let me engage my time in some better purposes. They'll think like that and then they'll. But we see bhakti is not like that. Bhakti is neither of the extremes. Bhakti is where we have to understand this is what bhakti means. That means the knowledge part is involved. Then next part is we know that these are the acts that we have to do. Then that portion of sentiment or portion of emotion is involved. And when it's a balance that I know this is the way it has to be done, and then I do it, then it's like I have strong conviction that this is why I'm doing. So when I do it, I get the result. So our triangle will be a like proper triangle. And if you see what we are doing currently in the name of bhakti, so not on a serious note, but in general, like ritual, currently we are taking it as a business. So when we go to Lord, what do we say? In general, even I used to do that. Lord, you just make me pass. I'll just break two coconuts. You just somehow help me in this difficulty. I'll just offer you a box of laddu. And like heights will be people who say that you give me this car, you give me this bungalow, you give me 1 crore. Like let the 1 crore lottery win. What will I give you? I'll give you 3 incense. I'll give you 2 coconuts. Okay, you're doing business, that is also okay. But business should be something that is like acceptable, right? Okay, you say that okay, let me get 1 crore lottery, I will give you 50 lakh lot. Okay, that is at least okay. You say that no, I will give you 3 incense, I will give you like one box full of laddu, or I will break 2 coconuts, and please Lord, like please help me. And if you see majority of the places where we go, I always say that they are majorly they are bell ringing temples. We go, we ring the bell, we just put all our petition, Lord I want this, Lord I want this, Lord I don't want this suffering, Lord I don't want this, and then we just sit and come back. And in fact, do you know why do we even sit in the temple? Actually, when I got to know, like I was amazed. In fact, earlier, like in the time of our ancestors, temple was a place of education. So whenever we used to go to the temple, some or the other Bhagavad Katha was happening, some like Ramayana was getting discussed, Mahabharata was getting discussed, then what is that called as Sita Kalyan was getting discussed. They say no, like many other things like this. Some of the other spiritual topics they used to be discussed. One or the others they used to sponsor or they used to like come and speak. So whenever they used to go to temple, so they used to sit to listen to those discourses so that they get purified. And nowadays it has become so blind that what our parents taught us, if you go to temple you have to sit 1 minute and come, at least 1 minute and come. So even though there is nothing to hear, there is nothing to see, there is nothing to do, wherever we get placed we just sit for at least 1 second and then we come. So we are in that stage now. And also we see that how like so much of our act with the Lord, it is like a business itself. And like how we were like how I was discussing that majority of the times we say that Lord you give me this, otherwise I will not do this. So like heights are like people who say that I will stop talking to you, I'll stop coming to temple, and people do that. And Lord like doesn't reciprocate. People do that. That is one other kind of people who tend to become atheists. That no, Lord is not giving me, which means no. This is there's no point in giving even 3 agarbattis and two coconuts. So let me just say save my money. And one other thing is, I like the question I want to ask is, what do you think? Lord doesn't have coconuts. Lord doesn't have laddu. Do you think like Yashoda Maya cannot prepare these wonderful laddus to like our dear Krishna? Do you think Parvati Maya cannot prepare laddu for Ganesh? No, Lord already he has all these things. He doesn't need all these things. All that he needs is our love, our service, our like mind and body surrendered unto him basically. But we don't acknowledge that. We think that yes, Lord is bereft of all these things. Let me give it to him. And sometimes people also say that if I get this, I will come back 3 more times. It's like they're telling that I will come back and give my darshan to you. If I get this, I will come back, I will give my darshan to you somehow or the other. We have seen, no, whenever majority of the times when they go to Tirupati, they pray for things and then they say, I will surely come. If this happens, I will surely come again. It's like, you can imagine, it's like so much of a business. It's like you are telling that, let this happen, then I will come, I will give you my darshan. So you will be satisfied with my darshan. So it's like if you see the current rituals, definitely when I see like few of my atheistic friends who doesn't want to accept spirituality, I say that there is nothing wrong, because there's nobody who's trying, like, who wants to tell them this is not how it is. This is not why we go for Lord, why we go to the Lord. This is not why we do what we do. And the next level is these concocted rituals, like for like our sense gratification. So in the previous slide also I was showing that majority of the times it is not the Lord who is the center. It is we who are the center when we go to temple. I need this. I want to get over this. I want to get this. I want to like get rid of this. So it is me who is centered, and I'm going there just to take. And then this is another level wherein sense enjoyment is to such an extent that people do all these bully and things like that. When I was small, I have seen this in my own eyes, that people like kill animal, then they take that same animal and then they cook and eat. What do they even think? You have offered an animal to the Lord, and then you take that as prasad. You think that is only the prasad. You take it home and then you cook, you eat. So much of mental concoction. This is why initially I told that service to the Lord is not like how we want. It is the way Lord wants. And this example I always give. I'm sure after this you may relate. Let's say I have a sibling and I go to my father and I tell him that I will cut my sibling and I'll eat. And so that like my hunger is satisfied. Will my father agree? Definitely he will not agree. First of all, I will not agree. Then my father will definitely not agree. So similarly, all the living entities, they are the kids of Supreme Father Krishna. And let's say, in the name of Bali, let's say we are killing some living entity, our father would never say yes to it. He would never ever sanction it. So when people they want to eat, so there are rules that we cannot kill. Now they want a legal platform where they want to again kill and eat. So they bring all these things in picture that yes, Bali, we offer it to Lord and then we like take it back the prasad and then we it is utter foolishness. Lord will never accept it. In fact, we will get so much sinful reactions. That's why we see in the four regulative principles, one thing is meat, no meat eating, because that will take us to the hellish planet where we cannot even imagine what kind of like trouble is there. And this one video where we see this is the might be play. Okay. I don't know if the sound is there, but we see this is the dance they are doing in front of Lord Ganesha when they're taking Ganesha for to procession. And what will Ganesha say? Ganesha will say that please don't torture me like this. So the Lord in general, like the Ganesha in general, is taken in a what do you say that procession, that van or something like that, and in front people will drink, they will eat something on their own, and then they will be so high that they will do like this. We see like we cannot even imagine to what extent people have gone, that anything and everything that they start doing, they say it is like official, this is ritual, and this is what you have to do. And like we may laugh at it, but if you see, have you seen any Ganesha procession without dances like this? No. Are we pleasing? We are, first of all, like Ganesha is nowhere in picture. We don't even know who is there. We just want to satisfy ourselves. That's why we are drinking, eating, and then we are just dancing like mad. We are dancing. And like any other rituals also. Like if you see, like what was the significance? What was the significance of Holi? Anybody knows? Why do we celebrate Holi? Holika Dahan. The Prahlad Maharaj, like you would all know the story of Narsimha Dev and Prahlad Maharaj. So like Hiranyakashipu is the like a very very brutal father of Prahlad. He wanted to kill Prahlad. So many ways he'll try and he's not successful. And then the Hiranyakashipu's sister Holika, she says that I have got this boon that I will not be burnt in the fire. So she will hold Prahlad in his hands and then she will enter into fire. But Lord will not save somebody who is actually harming his devotees. So what will happen? Holika will get burnt and Prahlad will come out very safely. And that the good over evil is celebrated as Holi. And we see nowadays we see like how people madly they put like colors against each others and then they forget they drink bhang and so many things. They forget the actual like significance of Holi. And even like when it comes to like the Shera also. Like so much of significance is there. We keep the Durga Ma aside and then we start doing so many things. The whole lot of like fasting where majority of the time the fasting is done for the health and not for any for the actual purpose. And then people will be waiting when will that ninth day or 10th day come so that I can start taking non-veg again, and they will eat the like 10 times more non-veg than they had what they had sacrificed for that all 9 days. And they play this, they dance garba danya. Where are all these things? It's all concocted. They just want to be happy, so they make things on their own, even including Diwali. Anybody knows what is the significance of Diwali? Lord Ram. Lord Ram returned back. So the whole city of Ayodhya was so happy. They wore nice dress. It is said that until that day, nobody had even like lighted a diya in their house, because when Lord is not there, that means there is no light in their house. That means they accepted completely that without Lord our life is darkness. So nobody dared to even like light a lamp when Lord was not there. And when Lord returned back, they were so happy. They wanted to say that yes, now the light of our heart he has returned back, to signify that they were like lighting the lamp. And even there is another significance, you might know, Narakasur was killed on that day. But nowadays we see we buy sweets from outside, we distribute sweets, we burst crackers. Where was the crackers? This cracker thing was nowhere there, definitely. The art, it was there. This cracker thing was nowhere there. People want to be happy. I want to light cracker. I want to hear that sound, hear that light, see that light, and then I want to be happy. So people want to do, out of their mental concoction, they want to do a lot of things. And this is like the majority of the times I hear, especially from my friends and so many of my relatives. So they say that, इतने young age में भक्ति कर रहे हैं? Bhakti should be in our heart. मन में रहना चाहिए. भक्ति शुड बी इन आवर हार्ट. So they say that मन साफ होना चाहिए. मन में कभी like when I tell them like the Yuga Dharma is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, please chant. They say नहीं, I'm always chanting. And then to one of my uncle, actually I told him that like he said that in my mind I'm always chanting. I told him in mind only you eat all the food. Why do you want plate, spoon, food and all? In mind only you eat all the food. He got like so much offended. And then he came to the senses. See, is like bhakti is so scientific. When we start putting the facts, people cannot accept it because they have their own concocted way. At once people cannot accept it. But when we gently make them realize, no, this is not what it is. And when we try to explain this is what it is, definitely if they're the same person who actually is sincere, like seriously want to understand and seriously want to like make themselves better, they will definitely accept. And they say no that man shuddhi karna chahiye. How can we make our man shuddhi? Like we have to take harpic and then use the harpic and then clean the heart. And then so many people, this also they say what is that? We don't want to do any service. We don't want to. Arey, why are you wearing dhoti kurta? Why are you wearing tilak? Why are you wearing sari? It should be all in the heart. Why are you even wearing holding japamala? No, we will be doing everything in our mind. If you see, ultimately it is just that they are lazy to serve. They want to keep aside the actual service responsibilities, and they cannot say that no, I don't want to do that for the Lord, because everybody accept the fact that everything is coming from the Lord. That's why they want to do any of the other rituals. So they say that nahi, bhakti man mein hona chahiye, man mein karna chahiye. We have to do everything like this. And until and unless we start doing something keeping Lord at the center thing still remains ritual itself. Like how I was telling that we will be just sitting in the temple, going ringing bells like this. Any ritual you take, until and unless we know that how can we like doubt in it for the Lord, and then we know the significance behind it, it will remain ritual itself. And now we will try to understand what is the science behind all these rituals. We will try to connect to what Krishna told, and then we will try to see how this ritual can become spiritual. You can all repeat. This is a very beautiful shloka. In fact, if it you can note down this shloka and you can learn this shloka. What Krishna is actually expecting from us. पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं
पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं
यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति
यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति
तदहं भक्ति उपहृतं
तदहं भक्ति उपहृतम्
अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः.
अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः.
Anybody can read loudly?
If one offers me with love and devotion of leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it.
So what Krishna is asking, so see, like again, Krishna, it's not that Krishna doesn't have all these things. Krishna has all these things in abundance. And last time also I was quoting the shloka. Sahasra Shatakoti Lakshmis are serving like Vishnu in Vaikuntha. So whatever little water, little tulsi we offer, it is nowhere needed. But Lord knows that we are all suffering. And as a father wants his son to come back, similarly Lord wants us to come back to him. And he's giving us chances. Via these various things he's giving us chances. And when we say no, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, and then Lord is saying finally that at least patram pushpam phalam toyam. And it is like again, like if I relate it to, it's like you're taking Ganga water, you're telling that I don't have anything, all I have this water, and you're offering it back to Ganga herself. Similarly, you're taking all these fruits, vegetables, all this water, everything you're taking from the Lord, you're collecting, and then you're offering to the Lord, and you're telling that, Lord, this is all that I have. And Lord says, and like I was talking to one senior Mataji, she was telling that when the offering was happening, so she was seeing that one other Mataji was like very fervently begging, praying, and she was doing some actions like this, and then this Mataji went and asked her, what are you doing? And she was telling that I'm squeezing my heart and I want to offer my heart to the Lord. I cannot give anything to the Lord, because all that is there, that is already belongs to Lord. And when we realize that yes, everything belongs to Lord, everything is being used in the service of the Lord, I am no one, I cannot give anything. At least if you see our parents, we can at least give them something. We can earn and give them something. We can, when they're in difficulty, we can help. If their health is not good, we can like serve like this. But what can we do to our Supreme Lord who has given everything to us? He has given us our parents, relatives, anything and everything you see, He has only given us. We cannot give back to Him anything. All that He wants is heart. And if you see, if you count the number of times Bhakti is like mentioned in this word 2 times. So very rarely we see in Sanskrit any word is repeated twice, any shloka is repeated twice. Here Bhakti is repeated twice. So we can imagine Krishna doesn't want your patram pushpam phalam toyam. He wants your love. He wants your heart. He wants the bhakti. And why does he want? Not because he is waiting for it and nobody is giving him. He wants it because so that at least you can turn towards him. Now you are bahirmukh. You can turn towards him. You can reduce your suffering. You can be happy. We cannot even imagine how merciful our Krishna is. And so now we'll see like how various things how they are like spiritual and not their ritual. So this deity worship. So the deities actually they are called as Archa Vigraha, and like we see like funnily there is one set of people who doesn't accept this Archa Vigraha worship at all, deity worship at all, and there is another set of people who worship anything and everything as deity. In fact, I heard a story recently that there was one like stone and it was very beautifully decorated, very nice dresses there, and very like eyes are made and things like that. And then one person like he was not finding the directions, and then when he went and removed the dress, he saw that 30 kilometers away, 30 kilometers more it was written. You see, like people are so much crazy that they don't want to know what actually is told in the Shastras. They want to do everything so blindly. Actually, if you want to know what is a deity, Archa Vigraha, any stone or any like wood, when we do carvings, how do we do carvings? Again, In scriptures it is mentioned that exactly how to do the carving, as per that scriptural details when we start doing the carvings. And then again, pran pratishtha of the deities is done. What is done is that they via various prayers they invoke the presence of the Lord. And when actually Lord comes and resides there, and then we see automatically that place becomes spiritual and Lord starts accepting the service. And another thing is that how many a times people question that if Lord is present in that stone, if Lord is present in that wood, then why did when Mughals came and attacked the deities, why did Lord save himself? Anybody knows answer? Why did Lord save him? See, Lord has all capacity to save himself. And let's say somebody asks, like, why are you doing deity worship? And you say so and so, Archa Vigraha and everything. And then this Lord is like the ultimate. He's the strength of all the strength. He's most superior. So why cannot Lord save himself? Anybody thought about this? See, we should know that how Lord takes different incarnations for different reasons. And Lord takes the avatar of Archa Vigraha, deity incarnation, just to accept our service. If you go to any ISKCON temple, we see that like we offer, like we decorate the Lord, we dress the deities, then we like paint the deities, and then we offer flowers, offer fruits, then we do so many things. Then whatever that lost relationship is there, I was giving that example, lost relationship with Father, we are trying to re-establish by serving the Father. And in general, people also say this, that one is that man mein bhakti karna chahiye, one more they say kad kad mein bhagwan hai. They say, why should we go to temple? Everywhere there is Lord. First of all, even when, at least I have experience, when I go to the temple, when I am in front of the Lord, I cannot see the Lord. My mind will be here and there. I cannot even like notice like who is there. And somebody is saying that I can see Lord everywhere. Come on, what kind of a Lord even you are seeing? And second thing is, if they say kad kad mein Bhagwan hai, imagine you see the Lord in this mat, Lord in this like sand. Can you walk over it? Can you like step over? Can you sit over it? Can you like, you cannot do anything. When they say kan kan baba, if they have actually realized that, they cannot do anything. So definitely Lord is so merciful. He is taking this form of a Archa Vigraha in a form where our material eyes can see him. Our material eyes can perceive him. Our material like body can serve him. He is accepting that service so that we can like go to him. And when people say that like all these like we should do everything in mind, we should not like why to do all this service, why to do all this japa and things like that, we see it's very impractical what they are saying. Like one example I'll give you. When see majority of us will at least face this question that you do all these things in mind, you don't do like you don't have to go to temple, you don't have to serve physically, you don't have to chant and things like that. So let's say a mother, a loving mother, a baby is there in the cradle, and the baby in the like depth of the night, the baby is crying. Okay, mother loves baby. Now the mother realizes that the baby is crying profusely. Mother wakes up. Mother says in mind, "Oh, I love you, beta," and mother sleeps on right. Again, the baby continues to scream more. Now the mother turns left, and then mother says that, "I love you more, beta. Please sleep." And then the mother sleeps. Will the child stop like screaming? And will ever any mother do that? Mother, even though mother is tired, mother cannot wake up. She gets up. She sacrifices her sleep. She wakes up. She goes to the baby. She feeds the baby. So what we learn from this is that wherever there is love, there should be two things. Like how the mother's love is. There should be sacrifice, there should be service. So always you can remember this. Nothing can be done in mind. I say no, you can always ask yourself, can I eat in mind? We cannot do that. And can I, like when they say, like if somebody is like emotional and things like that, like a baby example, very practical example, that we cannot serve a baby. If we cannot serve a baby in mind, how can we serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Akhilanda Khoti Brahmanda Nayaka in the mind. Not possible at all. There should be some aspect of service, that to physical service. There should be some sacrifice that is involved. And this sacrifice is like simple sacrifices like waking up early, coming to the temple, doing little service, doing little physical service, especially chanting. In fact, it is said that like for us in the Kali Yuga, the way to connect to Lord, it is given in the Shastras that by doing Sankirtan, that is by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Kritayadhyayato Vishnu, Tretayam Yajyato Magai. In the Krita Yuga, in the Satya Yuga, they were doing thousands and years of meditation. In Dwapara Yuga, thousands and years of yajna, Ashwamedha yajna, Putra Kamishta yajna, so many yajnas. In Dwapara Yuga, they were doing deity worship. High level, like Brahmanas were there, high quality ghee was there. Now, even if you buy A2 ghee, it's like the basic quality ghee that is available. So definitely we cannot. Krishna knows that our level is not here, our level is here. We cannot do all these things. So Krishna is giving us the simplest of the things which we can all do. What is that? Chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We cannot even think how merciful Lord is. So if we were little masters, or if we were little in higher position, we make our servants to serve like slog, like we make them slog and we make them work and things like that. But Lord is so merciful. He knows that we are not ready to give him 50 lakhs. So he's telling that you come to me, you give me patram pushpam phalam toyam, I will give you mercy. And he's telling that you don't have to do 1,000 years of meditation deep in water, and you don't have to search horses for Ashwamedha yajna, and you don't have to do shavasana and things like that in the name of meditation. All you have to do is simply chant, and then I will give you mercy. I will give you that like buddhi by which I can come to you. Dadami buddhi yogam tum. I will give you that intelligence by which you come to me. Why should I come to you? We ask. For your betterment. Again, he's telling that no, not for me. I already have 3/4 world where my devotees are very happily serving me. For your betterment, you are struggling, you are suffering. Life after life, you will continue this. Nobody will ever tell you. So Krishna is so merciful that he's like helping us. And even we see that here it is mentioned, you can repeat, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam
Satatam Kirtayanto Mam
Yadantascha Dridavritam
Yadantascha Dridavritam
Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya
Namastasya Mam Bhaktya
Nityayukta Upasate.
Nityayukta Upasate.
Can anyone read?
Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
So here, like Lord is telling that you chant my glories, you chant my names. You do little with little determination you chant. You have seen, no? While chanting, all we need is we have to just get our mind back. Little determination is needed. But if you see any Ashwamedha yajna or any yajna, so many paraphernalias are needed. For years together they have to prepare. We need highly qualified brahmanas, and Satya Yuga deep meditation and also we will not even think about it. We cannot even sit in one position for a long time. Now only it's just 1 hour, and then we are turning here, turning there, we are moving our leg here, there, everywhere. We cannot do that. And Lord mentions, what is that? The prime word we have to remember is with devotion, with love. And the Yuga Dharma, like how I said, it is Kirtan, it is Sankirtan. And we see Sankirtan creates so much auspiciousness all over the world. And it's not something again concocted. It's given in Shastras, it's given in Padma Puran, in Vishnu Puran. And also we see like Prabhupada, so many places he has practically proved this. In fact, there were many places where there was drought, there was no rains at all. And Prabhupada used to challenge the government. He used to tell that we will do this, like we will go do Sankirtan Yajna. If it rains, we need this place of land for our temple. And that piece of land, it would belong to, like it would somehow or the other, it would belong to ISKCON, but due to some cases or something like that, it would be in others' hand. And when Prabhupada and other devotees used to go there and they used to do Sankirtan Yajna, and it used to rain, and they used to get that land. And in fact, it is said that in Tirupati we have a ISKCON in the base. So that ISKCON also, somewhere I heard that it was that land for that ISKCON was obtained, something like that. When they went there, did some like Sankirtan Yajna, and then the drought was like vanished, and then they realized that this person is not this person is not just telling, he is actually proving it. And then they realized that yes. And anywhere you see Sankirtan happening, I don't know how many of you have participated in our Kirtan Mela. If you get a chance, you can participate. When we start singing, like when we start hearing the Harinam with all the instruments, and when that momentum builds up, you can imagine all your anarthas clearing off. You can imagine you are becoming pure. You are not doing anything, by the way. You are just sitting there and just hearing the mantra, your heart jumps and dances and your heart is so happy, so happy. You cannot like even imagine like how much bliss that day you'll get. And in fact, majority of us Vaishnavis, we got connected by a kirtan itself. Especially that's why earlier there was like so many kirtan melas, and now because of some like issue here and there we don't have. But every first Sunday evening it used to be kirtan mela, and we used to wait for that kirtan mela so that we can feel happy. And here Lord is saying that Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru
Madhyajimam namaskuru.
Mame Vesyati Yuktvaivam
Mamevasi yudevam.
Atmanam Matparayanam.
Atmanam patparayanam.
Can anyone chant? I mean, read loudly.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Again, Lord is telling how we can come to Him. And again, it's not because Lord wants us back. In fact, it is said that the 1/4 people know we are like the criminals. And the 3/4 people who are already there, they're actually Lord's eternal associates. And it's like how it's like we are always making halla, we are like very, very arrogant, we are full of false ego, we are troublemakers. And that's why Lord will not just take us to the 3/4 world that easily. Because if He takes all of us, like people like me, we will make lot of trouble there. then all the peace, all the bliss, all the happiness will go away. So Lord is telling that how we can purify oneself, how we can make ourselves qualified so that we can go to that 3/4 world where we can be eternally happy. And what Lord says, He says that always think of me. And one important point that I want to bring here, which I've highlighted, is offer obeisances unto me. So what is that science behind offering obeisances? In fact, in ISKCON, we offer obeisances, like men offer Ashtanga obeisances, wherein we offer 8 limbs of our body to Krishna. What are these 8 limbs? Our legs, our hand, our stomach, our head, then our mind, our intelligence, and then our words. Like when we bow down, so we offer our words, we offer prayers. So whenever you see any devotee going down, so there are prayers for Krishna, there are prayers for Srimati Radharani, we chant, no? That we chant, and then we offer our mind by thinking about the lotus feet of the Lord, thinking about Lord's like beautiful face, and then we offer all the other limbs, like how I said, 2 hands, 2 legs, like this, like that 8 limbs of body we offer. And for women, since we have like few bodily constructions, so we offer panchanga obeisances. You would have noticed we offer just panchanga, wherein just our hands are touched and then our legs are touched, and then it comes to our again mind and our words, like which offer prayers, and then we offer our mind to the Lord. And we also see that this acting of this offering of obeisances, if you see in the last 2 shlokas, I don't know if you have noticed, Lord has repeated like this offering obeisances again twice. Here where he's telling that Mam Namaskuru, he's telling that you offer obeisances unto me. In the next shloka, in the previous shloka also, it was mentioned that Namasyantyasya Mam Bhaktya, he's telling that offer obeisances unto me. So you can imagine Lord is mentioning again twice that yes, you offer obeisances unto me. Why? Because the prime aspect of spirituality is humility. Unless and until we realize what is our position, we can never accept spirituality, and spirituality can never benefit us. Because you would know anything is there that flows from higher nature to lower, like higher altitude to lower altitude. Like if you see water, electricity, anything. Similarly, the mercy comes from higher source to the lower source. If we don't accept the lower position, then we will not be the patra of bhakti. Like I always say that, see, like Lord can shower His rain of mercy on you, but if you are standing under the umbrella and saying that Lord is not merciful, Lord is not merciful, is it Lord's problem? No, it is your problem. Similarly, patra, we have to make ourselves such a nice patra that all the mercy flows. Let's say we become arrogant and we keep our patra ulta. What happens? All the mercy will bounce away. That's it. And right now that is only happening actually because of our false ego. See, and this false ego, all this arrogance and all, this is not from one life. This is from many, many lives. And the prime reason we are here in this material world, because we wanted to become the master. But like how I mentioned, what is that What is our true dharma? Our dharma is to serve. When we accept that we are servant, oh my Lord, you are my master, I am your servant. When we accept that lower position, automatically mercy starts flowing. Automatically we get the intelligence by which we can go to him. And one of the main reason is, like, see, why I am explaining all these things, because you need to know. And one other thing also, like one Mataji also was asking today, why we offer obeisances from left? Because in majority of the ISKCONs, if you see, like, either Garuda will be there in front of the Lord, or Prabhupada will be there. Any ISKCON temples you go. Here, because of the restrictions, we have kept Prabhupada here. But we cannot show our back or show our leg to Prabhupada. So that's why we like offer obeisances from the left. And one other thing is, what did Lord want? I told you, Lord doesn't want your patra pushpam phalam toru. Lord wants your heart. Which side is your heart? Left side. So we are telling Lord, when we offer obeisances from left, we are telling Lord, I cannot give you anything. All I have is this little dirty heart, which you only can purify by the method of chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita, and hearing kirtan and hearing lectures. How you only can purify. I offer this dirty heart to you. Please help me in purifying this heart. Make it a very, very nice place for you to stay, and then you come in my heart. You stay in my heart. And then when Lord comes and stays in our heart, we cannot even imagine. Our heart becomes whole body becomes a temple. That's why we see even okay, we will end this topic. Next, another one topic is also related to this. So showing our respect to the Lord and to the superiors. And this is like the second topic where we do parikrama or circumambulation. Anybody know why we circumambulate temple? I'm sure everybody would have circumambulated the temple. Anybody can give a reason like why you have circumambulated the temple? We say no, 3 प्रदक्षिण डालना चाहिए, 5 डालना चाहिए. We say no. Anybody?
Like they said, some energy will be there in the middle. We'll be doing some stuff. Some energy will be there. Positive energy also will be getting.
Yes, that is one reason. See, again, majority of the times we go to take. See, I want the energy. I want the bungalow. I want this. I don't want suffering. It's like I. Whenever we go to temple, whenever we go to worship, actually what like Prabhupada wanted to teach. That's why I had put a picture of Prabhupada to remind myself that what Prabhupada wanted to teach is, keep yourself aside. Keep Krishna in the center. Even the temple, why? Because when we are circumambulating, it's like we are giving ourselves a physical reminder. Krishna is our center. Lord is the center. We are around Lord. Let us circumambulate, remembering that who is the center? It's Krishna who is the center. Definitely, like scientifically, that aspect of energy is there that gets like spread around. So we have to go around, collect that energy. All that is there. That's why we feel good and things like that. But the main thing we have to remember is, like, what is this spirituality all about? This spirituality is all about self-centeredness to selflessness, self-centeredness to God-centeredness, selfishness to selflessness. These are the physical aspects. Like how I said, if we say I will do chanting in mind, I will just like visit temple in mind, I will just do everything in mind, nothing will work. Nothing will work. Even for us to get little mercy, we have to use our mind, body, intelligence, everything. And sitting in temple after darshan, like how I told, then tilak on the forehead. This is again like how I was telling, when it comes to offering obeisances, how it has a reason that like we want to offer our heart to Krishna. Similarly, when we put tilak, we offer ourselves to Krishna. Like what example I would like to give is that like anybody knows how, like, why people wear sindoor? At least in North India, I've seen very, very big, like big sindoor. Here we wear it like a formality in South India. So, you know why we wear sindoor? Sindoor? One is that it will activate that chakra. Any other reasons?
Belong to someone.
Now
We are not there for anyone.
yes, so much of like we see from the like before like when a woman wears sindoor, it means she already belongs to someone. It means that she's already like reserved, so nobody, you cannot flirt, you cannot just pull her leg and things like that. So when we put tilak, we are telling that I belong to you, Krishna. This body, we make that body a temple. In fact, we don't put tilak randomly in any place. We put tilak in 12 places. And like how Mataji said, those 12 places, one scientific reason is chakras are there and those will get activated and they'll purify us. Second thing is when we put tilak, you can go back and you can search ISKCON tilak and where and all tilak is applied and what mantra is chanted. We chant Govindaya Namaha, Madhavaya Namaha, Rishikeshaya Namaha, and we invoke that Lord into our body, because this body is a lump of matter. We just don't want to keep this lump of matter as is. Like how I said, anything that is there, we have to use it in the service of the Lord. So we are invoking Lord. It is said that there is one beautiful bhajan. Mama mana mandire rahanishi dina Krishna Murari Shri Krishna Murari. We are telling, I don't know, oh Lord, this lump of matter currently, it's a area of all the arrogance, all the anger, all it's the house for all the anarthas, and that's why I'm suffering. But if I offer my mind to you, if I offer my heart to you, if I offer my everything to you, oh Lord, this body which is so called matter, it can become spiritual, it can become a mandir. And anybody entering the mandir, how will be our consciousness? So calm, so peaceful. So we can also make our body, our mind, our everything, our whole existence that peaceful, that calming, that blissful by invoking the presence of the Lord. And when we put tilak, we are invoking that presence of the Lord. And when we offer that prayers like Govindaya Namaha, Madhavaya Namaha, we are like begging Lord, please come and please help me. And we are getting that protection from the Lord. And in fact, when I was reading 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 25th chapters, it is mentioned about like various hellish regions, and if somebody reads that chapter, they will definitely not go to commit any sin, even on a smaller way, because right now our situation is like very very good, at least we are not suffering so much. But in the hellish places, what kind of suffering is given, how much the subtle body has to go through, we cannot even imagine. And when I heard what is the benefit of wearing tilak, it is said that nobody can touch us. Yamadutas will recognize that, like how I said, some third person will recognize this person belongs to, this person is already married. Similarly, Yamadutas will realize this is a Vishnu's devotee. This is the devotee of Lord Krishna. We cannot touch this person. Yamadutas, when we give up our body, Yamadutas will never come at all near us. We don't want to go to Yamaloka and suffer. At least we don't want to go to hellish planets and suffer. So we cannot even imagine what kind of protection this tilak is giving. So in general, when we ask why tilak, people may say, oh, we are ISKCON devotees, we are Vaishnavas. No, it has much more significance than that. It can protect us in so many possible ways, and maybe some days we can discuss what are the glories of tilak. And anybody knows what this tilak represents? Lotus feet of the Lord. We are stamping the lotus feet of the Lord, and we are telling, oh Lord, please make this body your house, so that this body can be engaged in your service, and we can establish that lost relationship with you, and we can come back to you happily. And more we are trying to tell Lord that yes, remind ourselves and tell Lord that yes, everything belongs to you, everything should be used in your service. And we should always remember that why I was telling about so many externals like bowing down, why we have to do many things like wearing dhoti, kurta, sari, tilak. We should be in a spiritual attire. Why? Because it's not that in a material attire, in jeans pant you cannot do bhakti. If you see in ISKCON there is no restriction. Anybody can come and they can do bhakti. Because we want everybody to realize that yes, you are a servant, your nature is to serve. At least come to that point. But what will this external affect internals? What will wearing dhoti, kurta, or wearing sari, or wearing any other spiritual dresses? What will it impact? It will bring us to the mode of goodness. When we come in the mode of goodness, automatically we will realize that we are not the center, Krishna is the center. We will realize that we are meant to serve, we are not meant to do any like nonsense. And especially imagine if somebody is wearing dhoti kurta, and if they are wearing tilak and they are holding beads, can you imagine them doing some wrong act? Definitely they will be reminded, they'll be reminded that no, I am wearing a tilak now, I am holding a beads now, I should not be doing anything wrong. And automatically, without their own knowledge, they'll come to Sattva-guna. And Sattva-guna means it's a helipad. It's a very, very, very nice platform for us to take bhakti. And addressing as Prabhuji Mataji. Actually, when we go out for book distribution and things like that, when people address, especially girls as Mataji, they get offended. They say, Mataji, whom are you calling Mataji? Don't call me Mataji. But actually, if you see, Matravat Paradhareshu. Even Chanakya Pandit says you should see every woman as a mother. Even for men it is like that. Every woman except his wife he should see as a mother. So that's when we see earlier, like in our tradition, there was no concept of all these rape and so many other things. It was not at all there because they used to consider very strictly, and not just in mind and things like that. They used to call everybody as Mataji. That's when we see that when we call automatically as Mataji, automatically we'll see them as a mother. When we start seeing everybody as mother, we cannot have any nasty thoughts in our mind. And second thing is that how even little kids, everybody basically, they're given that what stage of mother. Even for us, when we call each other as Matajis, so much respect we are giving. We are not taking anybody for granted. We want to show that respect to others. And even Prabhuji means like we are saying that you are the master. I am servant. I want to take that lower position. And the more and more we put ourselves in a situation where we realize that we are servant, we are not the master, the more and more we remain happy because that is our true nature. And greeting with Hare Krishna. You all would be knowing like why hello came in picture. It was there, no? That why hello came in picture.
Name of the
It was the name of that Graham Bell's wife. And even till now we are calling some Graham Bell's wife when we speak. But when we say Hare Krishna to each other, when we or close our fold our hands, and when we offer when we greet each other, we see that we are reminding each others about Krishna. We are telling that no, we are not the centers. It's Krishna is the center. We have to remember Krishna. What is that? Manmana bhava madbhakto. Always think of me. So devotees are there to remind each others of Krishna. Always greeting each other's Hare Krishna. We are reminding that yes, it's the Krishna who's the center. We have to remember about Krishna. And when it comes to Aarti also, I don't know how many of you have got a chance to attend Aarti. I'm planning, like many of you also didn't get a chance to attend last week's Yatra. So those who have got like the chance, you would have seen like it's the best thing that could ever happen to us. But those who have not got a chance, maybe we can all go to mini Yatra here only. 30 minutes away we have our ISKCON HPR temple. These photo deities you can see, they are actually present, and we can attend one Aarti. And in that Aarti, actually again this Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu. What is Bhumi? Earth. Apo? Water. Anala? Fire. Vayu? Air. Kham? Ether. And Mana? Mind. Buddhi? Intelligence. And then Ahankara? Ego. So when we offer Aarti to the Lord, if you have attended any of these ISKCON Aartis, it's not just blindly we offer. We offer for Shankha, we offer the ether aspect, then we offer like incense, then that is Dhupa, which is the earth aspect, then we offer water, like that, then we offer Pushpa, like that, we offer all these five elements, Bhumi, blowing conch and kirtan, that is sound or ether, diya, that is fire element we are offering, water in the conch we are offering, where in the shankar you would have seen we offer water to the Lord, where we are offering the water aspect, flower and incense where we offer earth aspect, and we fan the Lord where we offer the air aspect, and we offer obeisances where we tell that let my ego be offered to you. Then we offer prayers where we say that our mind be offered to you. Then we recite these prayers. We learn these prayers. So in that way we offer our intelligence to the Lord. Basically, just one simple aarti, it is reminding us that all these eight elements, it belongs to you. It has to be used in service. And in fact, I was noting down that in ISKCON, actually 6 aartis are done in a day. At 4:30 a.m., one aarti is done, and bhoga is offered to the Lord. At 7:30 a.m., darshan aarti is done. 4:30 a.m., mangal aarti is done, and then 12:30 a.m., bhoga aarti is done. And again, we are waking up the Lord at 4 in the evening, and at 7:30 p.m. again one sandhya aarti is done, evening aarti, and before sleeping again one more aarti we are doing at 8:20, which is shayan aarti, which is we are putting Lord to sleep. Why are we doing so many aartis? So that when people come, they will be reminded again and again. All these 8 elements, it belongs to Lord. It has to be offered in the service of the Lord and no one else. And when we experience this aarti ourselves, we can see so much of bliss is involved, because everything when we offer to the Lord, automatically, like we are not no more thieves. We are doing what is our actual true nature, and automatically our soul gets ultimate happiness. and offering prayers before taking prasadam. Like many of you would have noticed, we devotees, we offer prayers. Like today, we can share you those prayers. So very very wonderful prayers we offer, that we tell Lord Krishna that Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnavi. We say that Swalpa Punyavatam Rajam. What are the three things? Like Mahaprasad, Govinda, and Nama Brahmana, which is the holy name. In general, people don't have faith in all these things. In general, so we are begging that in the form of prasad we are taking, you please give us the faith. Please give us little faith, little little spiritual credit, so that we have faith in all these three things. That is Govinda, Prasad, Mahaprasad, and Nama, which is the holy name. And then we say that Sharira Vidyajal. What is this body? This body is a network of ignorance. And Jodendriya Tayakal. On top of it, senses give us so much trouble. And then we ask, which is the sense that is giving the most trouble? Jeebe pehle vishesagare. It is the tongue that is giving the most trouble. Tongue wants to eat so many things that is not prohibited. Tongue wants to talk. It is said no that once the words are spoken, we cannot even take it back. It's like sharper than the sword, they say. So jeebe pehle vishesagare. Tara madhya jivahati. We are suffering in this material world. Lobo moi sudirmati. So much we are lamenting. Take jeta katina samsare. So much katina samsara. This material world, so much of troubles we have. Krishna bada doyomai. He is saying, Krishna, you are so merciful. Why? Kore bari jiva jai. Why? Again, Krishna is telling that we are telling swaprasadam. You have given us the prasad. By eating this prasad, we get purified. Our tendency, like sinful tendencies, will reduce. We become purified, and then in that purified state, we can worship you and we can come back to you. So again, we see Krishna is telling us, you offer me patra pushpam phalam toyam. You offer me obeisances. You offer me your mind. You offer me your heart. You take this worst case. If anything cannot, he's telling you take my prasad in a mindful way, and then you come back to me. So we cannot even imagine how merciful Krishna is. This is the last concept. I'll just take 5 minutes. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarashayo vidu sakalena mahata yogo nashta parantapa. Anyone read?
The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost.
So actually here the highlight is Evam Parampara Praptam. Why we have put this shloka is that we have to recognize those devotees who have actually given us this like gem of Krishna consciousness, because we all are suffering and Krishna has given us the solution, but that solution should reach us, no? So the medicine is already there, but the medicine should come in by a doctor, no? Otherwise, we will never get it. That will be always there in the pharmacy shop. So similarly, these are the doctors, these are the spiritual doctors who have come and who have given us this wonderful knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And you can see we always worship them. Any ISKCON altar, if you see, they'll be there in the bottom. So if you see, starting from Prabhupada, so Prabhupada is the one who actually gave us this. He translated all these wonderful books of Lord Krishna into English and various other languages. And then Prabhupada's spiritual master is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is next to Prabhupada. And if you see next to him, he is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who is the spiritual master of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then next person is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he was a magistrate in the Kolkata government. And it is said that train would come in front of his house. The government used to send train in front of his house so that he doesn't face difficulties to come to office. And so why was he facing difficulties? Because he told the government that I cannot do work. I have lot of research that is to be done, to be given to the future generation, so that they stop struggling and they take up the bhakti very seriously. It is these people. Then it is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and then Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So all these people, they kept their personal what do you say, happiness aside, and they struggled to give us this science of bhakti, because of which we are here today. So that's when we always keep them in the altar, and whenever we start worship by taking their their permission. And even when I start my class, you would have seen that we always chant the prayers wherein we invoke their mercy, because they are the ones who gave us the knowledge. Only when they bestow their mercy we can understand, because we also don't have that intelligence to understand. And we should also remember that how Krishna is so merciful. He's sending these personalities to, and he's empowering them so that we can get the bhakti. And this concept is how, like, we were self-centered earlier, and now how, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are becoming God-centered. If you see, till now we were only worried about me, my family, then my extended family. We say, no, Bharat Mata ki jai. My land in which I am born is the purest, is the best. My language is the best. See, these are all the extended family, or extended gratification that we are taking. Because who is the center here? At the end of the day, it's me who is the center. Me, my relatives, my friends, my family, my country, my language. At the end of the day, it is only me, 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 me. And the more and more mama and mameti, me and mine comes in picture, the more and more we start going away from the Lord. We start forgetting the Lord. And I told you that example. The more and more we go away from the Lord, who is at loss? It's we who are at the loss. What I want, like, every time we are very so much self-centered, and when we start thinking what Lord wants, that's when this God-centeredness comes in picture. And if you see in ISKCON, unlike any other organization, the simplest of the simple thing that is done is they just make us realize, just stop being self-centered and just turn your focus towards God. And that is Krishna consciousness. It's telling that stop being self-conscious, just move your consciousness to Krishna. And all these examples that I gave, either deity worship, offering arti, offering obeisances, circumambulating the Lord, anything you take, till date we were all self-centered. We were seeing how to just take. But now, at least after realizing that whenever we approach Lord, we should be in the mood of giving service, giving our heart, giving our everything to Krishna, who wants us to come back to Him, and who wants us to live happily with Him. That is the only difference between other religion and Krishna, like Krishna's religion. So, I will end with this very very wonderful pastime. You will like this pastime. So once Krishna got headache when he was in Dwarka, and then when the very very expert doctors, when they come to him, so they gave him the solution that anything cannot cure you, only the dust of the devotees can cure you. Thus, so now Narada Muni goes in search of the dust of the devotees. So Narada Muni goes everywhere, and then he asks everybody that can you give me the dust? Everybody says giving the dust to Lord, it's like such a big offense. No, we cannot give. Everybody says. Then finally Narada Muni, when he goes to gopis, they will not even think twice. They'll just remove the dust and they'll give you. Then Narada Muni will tell them that you even know what is it means to give the dust? It means that you will go to hellish planet if you allow Krishna to touch your feet's dust. What they say is, they say that we are okay for anything. We are ready to go for even for the hellish planet, but we want our dear Krishna to get rid of the headache, and we want to be happy. So we cannot even imagine what is the mood of that gopi. So at least, why I'm telling you the stories, at least we can imbibe little of this mood, that any activity we do, any task we do, anything we do, be it the spiritual activity or material activity, we can think, how can this please Lord? How can I serve Lord in this situation? Even in the most difficult situation, you can always think, how can I be a servant here? How can I think of pleasing the Lord? And automatically you will see first thing you can see is Krishna's hand in that situation. Second thing is, you will see that wherever you are in the difficulty, automatically you will come out, because you are trying to serve Krishna. Krishna will somehow send you out of the difficulty. So many examples are there. Prahlad Maharaj's examples, Draupadi's examples, so many examples, Gajendra's examples. So all they did is, they just thought, in this moment, how can I remember Lord? How can I serve Lord? And automatically they came out of the difficulty. And all that we are seeing is transformation. Transformation from, how I mentioned, self-centeredness to God-centeredness, and selfishness to selflessness. When we start becoming this, then automatically we'll see that heart becomes purified, and we can give that butter like heart to Krishna. And Krishna loves only butter, pure butter. So when we make our heart pure like a butter, Krishna will come and steal it. Krishna will come and stay with us. and then we can imagine, like we cannot even imagine a life, like how blissful our life will be, and how like we can make our heart purified. So like chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I can see all familiar faces, so please chant like minimum 4 rounds. This is what I beg, so that purification can happen quickly, and we can more and more understand the aspects, understand the glories of Lord and serve Lord. And reading of Bhagavad Gita and attending these sessions. Please don't miss all these things. So we can take up any questions. Maybe we can take up the questions during the lunch time, because it's time. So we will chant 1 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra now, and then we will move ahead for prasadam. You can all, by now you should be all having your own pair of beads. Who all don't have beads? Yeah, you can. Mataji can. Beads. If you don't have beads, like we have offered many beads and bead bags and kept it. So it's like without chanting, it's like how I said, it's like a yuga dharma. So at least what we can do is who are coming recently, like from 1 to 2 sessions, so you can start chanting 1 round daily. It hardly takes 7 minutes, and even the beads are not costly. It's just hardly 50 rupees, and then we should not keep the beads here and there. So that's why you can take a bag which costs like 30 to 50 rupees. So if you don't have beads and bead bags, please take beads and bead bags today and try to chant 1 round daily. And it's like a permanent investment. I always say that you may go anywhere in the world. You can always take it along, and you can chant and you can connect to Krishna. So we'll start chanting.